Western Conference podcast on location here in Avondale, New Zealand, and we're at Poetik Shop, and we got my brothers, man. We got D-Boy in the building, and we got the man Poetik. Give it up one time. How you doing, my brothers?
What up, y'all?
Man, thank God y'all got the glasses on, because y'all look tired of the goddamn right now.
I'm gonna have to take this off. I can't see you guys. This is the Chinese black. Don't worry about it.
You got that Lokes black, you got that gas station black. But we are here with D-Boy, Poetik. Man, good to have you guys finally on the Western Conference podcast.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Dos Caras Tequila, and we are here on location. But when I say location, we're here with the brothers that's doing the thing. Homelands was doing the thing. D-Boy, tell me how was it feel for you? Because this is your first time performing out here.
Right. Man, that was something to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was man, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Just to be there with our people and rock out like that, man. Yeah, it was the shit.
And Poetik, what about, I mean, this is home for you now. So how was it for you to kind of have the hometown behind you and, you know, performing what you do? You do the shows out here, but was it a little different kind of having like D-Boy on the bill and what people had for Homelands?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Got the family over here.
Yeah,
we did
man.
it for the uncles. We did it for our people.
Absolutely, with the Booyah Tribe tribute, and just to see that, it was like chicken skin almost with the crowd, and how we just seeing how we went transition from D-Boy and going to the hits for the brothers, and just kind of seeing that whole, you know, and then we had Gotti's message, we had Cobra's message. Like for you especially, D-Boy, how was it for you to kind of just have that follow your set? Was it pressure on you as well?
It was pressure, but all in all, it was like a little emotional for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to represent for them and the ones that aren't here no more. So, you know, all in all, it was a great turnout, but it was just like, you know, it really hit me on that stage.
Yeah, no.
And, you know, just to see the crowd and, you know, going crazy, you know, it hit home with that one.
Poetik, what about you?
Yeah, bro. Like, I think this was like my favorite show we did out here.
Yeah.
So far. It's a Polynesian thing. Like, we got all the islands there, not just Polynesians. We had Melanesians, Micronesians too, the whole islands.
Yeah.
And no fights.
Yeah, come on.
No problems. I just want to say that no trouble at this, you know, Pacific Islander show. So don't stop canceling our shows, cops. Jeez,
Yeah.
man.
Because
You know,
hey,
we know how to behave.
that says a lot. That says a lot, and I think it goes back to the unity. And you know, you had every, like you said, every kind of nationality there, from Tongan, Samoan to everybody that was there, just having a good time. And I think kind of having everybody on stage doing what they do, just it was good to see everybody come together. You know, when we do festivals out in the States, I mean, you have a little bit of everything, but this hit a little bit different. We also did the Booyah Tribe tribute. We did, you know, had everybody on the bill, and it was just a good time. And then, but for you, we got to take it back from the beginning, because I want people to know how this all started for you, because we're in your store. Tell us about the store first of all. Like it took a lot of hustling and grind to get to where you are now. We're talking about hustling from the back of the trunk, from the markets to where you are now. So kind of give us that feedback of the store that you had to get here.
We born into hustling.
Yeah.
You know, we watch our parents work, you know, so hard just to put food on the table for us, and we don't come from rich families that have a whole lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, we rich with love, and, you know, I think they just instilled in us to go out there and work. So what we did was nobody opened no doors for us in the industry. They didn't give a fuck about us. Oh, shit, my bad.
No, absolutely. You can cuss on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. My bad. Shit. Nah, man, no one gave a fuck about us in the game. Like, they didn't like us when we started. And so, you know, we came over here. We went to Australia. They wasn't feeling us. So we were like, fuck it. We just go out there and do our own thing.
Yeah.
And then we just hit the streets with the cars. And once we figured out that Instagram is a way to make $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, look, I got 40 shirts for 50 bucks each. I'll drive to your house. Just DM me.
Yeah.
Man, we were selling out every day.
Come on.
Hell
You
yeah.
know? So the music was paid for by the T-shirts that we were selling.
Yeah.
And
But like, what even brought the T-shirts about? Like, you being an artist, like, somebody had to put you up on merch game, because people, when I say a lot of artists out there, they do the artistry, but once they get the elements of having merch and having that, you know, other stream of revenue, like who kind of put you up on game to say, hey, this is something that could pay for what you're trying to do music wise?
It's Bass.
Yeah, man.
Bass told me.
Shout out Bass, man.
Bass, man. Bass was like, tell it. You should do some T-shirts and put your name on it, Poetik. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking put my name on the shirt. Hell no.
Yeah, because at first you don't think, you're like, oh, man, I don't want to be conceited about it, but yeah, you got to know, like, people want to support you, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, so once we did it, man, we did like the first 30, 40 shirts. We got hooked up. We did a show, and the payment was shirts.
Yeah, wow.
It was Debolo. So
Damn.
Debolo from Decepticons.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, I got this show, man, and I could do a whole bunch of shirts for you. So he was hitting us up, like, hey, where's the design? Where's the design? We did the show like a month ago. Where's the design? Bass finally talked me into like getting a design, like a Poetik logo.
Yeah.
Sent it through the first one. We printed it, we advertised it on Instagram, and it was gone in a day or two.
Man,
You
and it's
know?
crazy because you see that like with the power of social media, like with Instagram, that's just like your promotional tool. So like, have you kind of like transitioned because that wasn't always there? Like, how did you use that social media platform to kind of say, hey, we can use this as our selling point to kind of sell me and what I'm doing with my merch?
Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah.
Then I started to respect the social media game.
Yeah.
Because before I was just like, there's a bunch of fake motherfuckers up there acting
Yeah.
like, you know, God's children and shit.
Everybody
Even
just
though you
posting their
are, but,
wins,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah, so it changed everything for me, my perspective on how to hustle.
Yeah.
Independently.
Come on.
Yeah.
Speaking of independent hustle, D-Boy, we go back to you because I'm going to go back to both of you guys as where you guys came from, but you already kind of born into this, you know, being the son of Cobra and everything. You was already into the game. But what was something about you growing up as a kid saying, I want to continue doing what Pops and them is doing? Because, you know, you don't always have to be there, but you're already in the elements of, you know, still being in the neighborhood and still kind of being attached to what Pops and them have built and the legacy they have built. What was the kind of thing for you to kind of say, yeah, I want to do this as well?
Man, to be honest, it kind of just happened by accident.
Yeah.
You know, like, I wasn't even thinking about doing music or,
Wow.
you know, I used to be in the back with the homies rapping.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here he goes again. Here he comes rapping again and shit. Until, you know, I heard myself rap. I put it on wax, and then I was like,
oh, when you heard it back?
Yeah, when I went to go make my first song, and I listened to it, and I was like, and everybody was feeling it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
What
wait a
age was
minute.
that?
Well, probably like 20, 19.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah. Because at that time, you're at the fork in the road. Like, what I'm going to do? Like, you know, you can always still be, you know, what you're doing, but you have to kind of make that decision to kind of like either go left or go right. So was that the time for you to kind of say, okay, I could probably take this music thing seriously?
Yeah, but even at that time, I wasn't serious about it. It was just like, you know, I was playing with it, and, you know, I started getting a lot of good feedback from people, and then I was like, oh, okay, you know, they really fuck with my shit. So I'm like, you know, let me take this serious and let me see how far I could go and see if I keep it going. And then it just ended up being like, you know, I'm the son of the tribe, so it's like it came with the territory, but, you know, I had to work for it. So
no, absolutely. Because was there pressures being, you know, son of the tribe as well? Because you gotta have that element from it. Because you starting to rap and stuff like that, Pops had to come up and say, okay, because he had to kind of also have his opinions as well too, right?
My Pops, he kind of just let me do my thing, you know.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know, my Pops, he just like, you know, whatever I wanted to do, he just supports me, you know. So it's like, if I was gonna do the music, but you know, when I really started doing it, and now he's like, okay, like, you know, he's proud.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm doing this for all of them as well as myself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm keeping their legacy alive at the same time I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, because it's like a passing of the torch. You know what I mean? To kind of just have that already been, and that takes us over to you, Poetik. Like, when you started saying you're going to get into the music, what kind of like did it for you to kind of say, I want to be an artist?
Yeah, I was like born into music.
Yeah.
So Pops being a singer in the old days, you know, we kind of just pick up on everything.
Yeah, and you was already a part of the musical family.
Yeah.
And when did hip hop come into the picture?
When I learned I couldn't sing for shit. Bro, if I could sing, man, I had like 72 kids right now, dog. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
So he's like, okay, I can't sing, but maybe I could rap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how was the first rap experience for you to kind of say, okay, I maybe be able to do this as well?
It was bad, but I tried to rap to a girl.
Yeah.
I wrote like this little poem rhyme thing, and I tried to rap to her and ask her out, and then she just said no at the end of it. I was like, man, fuck.
He was like, shit, but that poem was cold though, wasn't it?
Hey, but when, you know, when we started rapping and shit started blowing up, then she was like, hey, how you doing?
And then she started coming around.
Yeah, man. Oh, well, that's how it goes.
But kind of having both of you guys, like, I like to hear the humble beginnings because, you know, you especially, D-Boy, kind of having that, like, when you was a kid, did you kind of know what the severity of what Pops and the uncles was doing? Because we always talk about it today where they were like the first mainstream West Coast hip hop, you know, and Polly's at that. Like, how did that affect you as a kid growing up?
Man, it was cool, but, you know, like, I knew that they were big,
Yeah.
but, you know, like, just actually come out here and witness it.
Yeah.
And see it from my own eyes, and then even doing it for myself, that's just crazy to see it. But as a kid, yeah, man, it felt good being like, oh yeah, that's my dad and them,
exactly.
you know? Hell yeah.
That's my uncle and them, yeah.
That's my uncle and them, you know? Because they were known.
Yeah.
You know? It felt like sometimes when I tell them like, oh, that's my dad or
Yeah.
whatever, some people are like, oh, they ain't, you know, or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, chances are it's just another one.
Poetik, for you, like going into the music, was like Booyah Tribe have a big impact on how your career was as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were starting in the islands, so, West Coast. Everything's West Coast and islands.
Yeah.
I only knew like three East Coast rappers besides Biggie.
Yeah.
So everything's West Coast.
When you guys see it come full circle as far as your careers are going now, like you guys are starting to get the notoriety, you guys are starting to get the buzz. And I mean, people don't see the behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? That all the grit and grind that you guys come through this. Like, we just did a meet and greet with D-Boy, and it's crazy to see. Like, we're in New Zealand, and to kind of see all these people come out and show the love. At Poetik shop. Like, who else could say they're at your shop doing a meet and greet with D-Boy, and you have all this love coming from the community? Where shit, we coming from Cali, and we would never think that. What about for D-Boy? What for you? Would that kind of like trip you out?
And we promoted it like 12 hours before.
I was about to say it wasn't a lot of promo too, because you guys just put it up. And then it came out. But like coming from Cali and kind of saying, this is your first time. Were you tripping out about how much love they showed you?
Man, it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Just to see how many people even pulled up on me.
Yeah.
Like, damn, y'all showing love out here. Like, man, it felt great.
Yeah. And especially with you, Poetik, kind of having the D-Boy here, like, this is the shop. Like, this is home for you. Like, you got to tell us, you went through a lot to get here. Like, tell us the trials and tribulations for you, what it took to kind of get what you have here as a store where not a lot of people have a brick and mortar. They'll sell the back of the trunk. They'll sell out at the market. But how did it get to this point?
A lot of sacrifice, man. A lot of sacrifice. Day and night, not seeing our kids for like 2-3 weeks at a time on the road. A lot of sacrifice. But, a lot of people helped to get us here.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's not just, we can't take credit for my brother and I can't take all the credit. We showed up, but people believed in us, and when we wanted to quit, they was like, "I'm gonna slap you if you quit."
Yeah,
like my older sisters and stuff. They're like, "You better get out there and get something."
So you kind of had something to prove at that point. Like, look, I got to keep. If I'm gonna keep it going, I can't let down who's supporting me at this point.
Man, plus like the kids too, like the young ones out there that are just running around right now. Since COVID has been fucked up out here, so, and worldwide, but we just want to show people that us Polynesians and young Usos in the game, we can do whatever we want to do. Yeah. Once we we focus and lock in.
When you say lock in, like especially with you, D-Boy, when you locked into kind of saying, look, I could make a living off this music stuff. Because at first for everybody as an artist, it's like a hobby. It's just something that you guys are starting. Okay, it's kind of cool. Some of your friends say you could, but like what was the aha moment for you to kind of say, I can make a living doing this? Like, come on, you traveling to New Zealand, getting paid to do what your art is. Like, tell us about how that journey is.
I think the key point or the twist, like maybe when I did my first show, when I did it in Hawaii, and just even the amount of love I got out there, and then, it's a lot of work though.
Yeah.
Throwing a show and doing all the back scene, but at the end you get paid, and then it's like, damn, okay, people pulling up and
spending money,
yeah, but it's supporting you, so it's like, okay, maybe I could do something with this. Yeah.
Poetik for you?
Hey, can we drink this stuff?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely. We're going to get into it.
What was the question? Sorry, man, my bad.
I can't, man.
Camera's rolling.
When did you know that this music thing could be something that you can make a living out of? I mean, I know we see the merch and everything, but when your artistry for the game of hip-hop, when did you know that could be something that you don't have to go get a job? This was your job.
I always believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. We come from poverty, island, third world poverty. So we always knew this was it. We were practicing our speeches in the fucking chicken shack in Mokoko.
Yeah. Wow.
Like our award speeches. We were like, 12 years old talking about, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Just, we ain't never doubted who we were.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing is the journey to get here and how many people doubted us along the way.
Yeah.
And that was hard to get by.
Was that a lot for you to kind of like to prove the naysayers wrong? Like to kind of say, hey, look, we're going to prove these haters wrong one way or another? Or was that just something for you to kind of say, oh, let me put that in my back pocket and kind of just say, as I go along in my journey, this will be something to kind of say, yeah, I did what I had to do.
Yeah. I had something to prove. I had a chip on my shoulder my whole life, someone to prove to people. But I don't care about people we don't know. It's people that we do know that says you ain't never going to be shit.
Yeah.
You ain't never going to make it. Go and work at a day job or some shit.
Yeah. But having both of you guys be in the game where it's so different, and maybe it's not. Like, you coming from Cali, D-Boy, and you kind of being out here in New Zealand, like, what's the differences you guys see? Because I know now with social media, it kind of just bridges that gap. But what are some of, like, the, obstacles that you guys have to go with in New Zealand and you in California?
Run
Oh, like, wait, like what's the difference between it?
Like just seeing kind of like what
Man,
you have to do in the States and coming over here in New Zealand.
Coming to New Zealand, all I've seen is love. For
Yeah.
real. Like there's like nobody hating and
Yeah.
everybody getting together and you know.
It's different because they don't do that in Cali.
Yeah, back home, shit, all hating motherfuckers back there.
Yeah.
You know, they don't support like how we gonna get that support out here.
Yeah.
Back home, you know, it's just too much hating going on and then, you know, a lot of shit going on over there as well. So, man, coming out here, just seeing all the love and, man, it's great.
But how do you transition that, like coming out here and seeing all that love? And when you do go back to Cali, like you kind of try to implement and say, look, these motherfuckers out there show love. Over here, we don't show that love. So what could I do with my artistry to kind of say, hey, I don't really got to trip off what these guys are hating on, but I want to have that love that the same that they do in New Zealand out there in Cali. Does it really matter, like, what they doing in Cali right now?
Nah, it don't really matter for real. Like, you know, if you rocking with me, you rocking with me. If you hating, and shit, it's all good. You know, you ain't gotta like it, but you gonna respect it.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't really tripping on you know, all that hating shit. Anyways, I'm gonna do me regardless.
Yeah. Poetic for you?
Tell her we should go to Germany, bro.
Yeah. Is
You know
it
what I'm
different
saying?
over there?
I don't know. I've never been. I've never
But hell,
been.
we
bro,
gonna
but
go in and do it over there any
let's
goddamn
go,
way.
man. So because I'm part German too.
Yeah.
My mom was German.
Yep,
you know?
same here.
Yeah.
Mom's half German, half Hawaiian, half Samoan.
Oh, there you go.
There's Samoan, German, and Hawaiian.
Yeah.
That's my mom's part. My dad's full Samoan.
Oh, that's what's up.
So what about you? What give us the full nationality venture with you?
From what I know, because we just found out that we got Papua in us too from
Oh,
mom's
nice.
side. German, Samoan, British. Then my dad's American Samoan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
D-Boy, go ahead. Give us the nationality rundown.
So I'm Samoan and a quarter Persian from my mama.
Yeah.
She half Persian, half Samoan.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But you guys, so part of the culture we're talking about, like having that, you know, Samoan background, having that Polynesian background. Do you guys see any of the pressures of? Do you have to carry any of that weight when we do shows like that, where you do have the Polynesian culture? Because we all know in our culture, you're under a microscope all the time. You know, whether it's going to be from the fans, whether it's going to be from your peers. Like, what kind of like pressures do you feel you go through in our Polynesian demographic? Come on.
Yeah.
Because they're there.
Like, you
they're
know,
definitely there, especially in hip hop.
Yeah. Some of the elders don't like what we do.
Yeah.
But they don't understand what we're fighting for. And at a time and space we're at now, it's like I feel like we can use hip hop to unite the whole family. And I don't know how, but I feel like, you know, we're on the borderline of fucking finding a way.
Yeah.
Whereas our parents was just like, you know, old school. You come to these countries out here where they call you all kinds of names and take your name away from you and give you a white name and make you feel like you ain't shit and go work down there.
Yeah.
You know, they come from that area where they were like, just keep your head down, get your education, get your job, buy a house.
Yeah.
Don't piss them off. Now, like, we're on the front line now where that shit will never happen again to us because we're just going to deal with people like us.
Yeah.
You know, we will never let that disrespect happen again. But our parents, you know, they came over here and, you know, on the boats and in the old days and try to make a, you know, a living from where you guys are from, Australia over here. So me coming from the islands, coming over here, I'm just like, man, let's just funnel these opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, best we can. And let's just take one of these. How do you open this shit?
Yeah, you just pop it on the top. That's that Dos Scott. That's that Añejo right there. But do you guys have pressure, D-Wise, with you as being a Samoan rapper? Like, you know, everything's about island reggae. Everything's about, you know, art, whatever it is. But now, you guys are kind of behind the eight ball already. Like, how do you kind of deal with that, being a Polynesian rapper?
It ain't really no thing to me. It's just like, you know, especially like me rapping about the stuff where I come from.
Yeah, and what you lived.
And what I lived, that I think, like, you know, a lot of our people in our culture look down upon those things, you know? And when really I'm doing this to try to make a way out.
Yeah.
You know? And they probably might not understand it, but, you know, it's for the greater good. But besides that, I'm just doing my thing, you know? And either way, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Poetic, what about you? Is it tough being a Polynesian hip-hop artist, especially out here in New Zealand?
Tell you, you know, coming from the islands,
Yeah.
we don't do the whole I'm a Polynesian thing. Like,
Yeah.
The only thing Polynesian I remember back home is Polynesian Airlines. That's the same. We wake up and we're us.
Yeah.
Then you come overseas. I came over here and they were like, oh, you're Polynesian? You're in that section of the rap
Yeah.
game.
We're
I was
in
like,
this part of it. Yeah.
So what's up? Kick it with all the other skin tones, you know?
Yeah.
Not allowed. So yeah, you get boxed in over here.
Yeah.
The industry's racist, bro.
Yeah, I mean, especially I think for hip hop, it's a little bit harder for you guys. That's why I say you guys. I always feel like hip hop has a little bit longer journey or a harder journey.
Way harder, bro.
Because island reggae is so accepted. R&B is so accepted.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the hip hop, especially when you have elders and people that are older, and then you have the middle age, then you have the kids. Not everybody's gonna understand from the older perspective what the kids are talking about. You get the olders like, oh, they're just doing that rap stuff. Because when we all grow up, it's cool at that moment, but as you get older, you have the olders like lightweight hating on the hip hop. Like I find myself today with my kids, and they playing the Lil Uzi Verts, and I'm like, hey, what? I find myself being what my dad used to tell me when I was playing hip hop, and I was like, okay, that's just me getting old. But for you guys being in the game, it's kind of like saying you guys gotta adapt to the times too, because you guys are being compared to what hip hop is today. Like, how are you guys trying to keep it to where you guys are staying? Because you guys still have that old West Coast sound, where you guys are trying to bring that, because you don't hear that a lot in today's hip hop. Like, what did you guys take on today's hip hop, and where you guys stand in that element?
What you think, Goose?
Man, it's like you got to hit every crowd,
Yeah.
and grow outside of our own community, and not
Come on, man.
get stuck within our own community.
Absolutely.
So it's like really you hustling, you grinding, you gotta talk to these people, talk to them, and venture out of our people, because I love our people, but we got to become bigger than us to show everybody else what we're about, and that's the part what I'm trying to do and climb to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the little venture I'm on right now.
It's definitely not easy. What about you, Poetik?
Yeah, I'm on the same.
Yeah.
Same waka, bro. We trying to get there. Yeah.
And do you guys see yourself with these shows like mixing the genres, where they're having like the island reggae, the hip hop, and a little bit all of it? It's like, so with Homelands, you had a little bit of everything. You had a little bit of
that was
hip-hop.
dope.
Yeah, that's cool, because it caters to everyone.
Exactly, because you have in the crowd where they're fans of everything.
Yeah.
But now a lot of these festivals are now starting to take heed, because normally, like when we come to the Bay, we have Island Reggae Festival where it's just island reggae. But then we kind of with the Uso Drew and them out there, they was kind of bringing that hip hop element to it. But they were behind the 8-ball, because it was like, oh, island reggae. Oh yeah, they got hip hop too. But then when you start mixing, like with Drew doing the polytape and kind of mixing the two genres and having that aspect of it, because I feel like that was a thing for him to kind of say, okay, look, if everybody's going to do this island reggae run, let me just kind of combine the two, but kind of still kind of keeping what he was doing. Do you guys kind of like, with 685 and the stuff that you guys are coming out with, that's why you guys are meshing those elements? Because you kind of want to not exactly get accepted by that side, but kind of say, hey, we can still rock with these guys too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
In a way, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, definitely. It was cool, just like the festival. Like, see how it all turned out, and everybody just rocked together. Of course, yeah. Maybe we could use you guys on one of our songs, just have a little vibe, and while I'm spitting, it goes hand in hand. Like, it could work out.
Because I feel like it's a networking tool for you guys, especially these festivals, when this is like the first time a lot of you artists come together. Sometimes you guys never, you guys heard each other's music and you guys kind of respect the game, but then this is the first time you guys are coming together. Do you guys ever kind of find yourself always working and kind of say, hey, House of Shams here, let me go see sometime we might do something, or Tomorrow People, or whoever's on the bill? Like, do you guys find yourself feeling like these are all people that are artists in this game, that if you guys do a collab, because these collabs are big and everyone can do this music on their own, but like saying, to mix and match with what we have out on these stages, do you guys feel like that's the thing that you guys should do when you guys are out these festivals?
Yeah, networking.
Yeah.
And just collaborating is dope.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own spices that you can cook with.
Yeah, the creative part.
Nice kongai,
Yeah. Because it's great to see, like so I have HP Boys and like Lisi, the guys that are coming out of Australia, like you guys are all in this game, like, because I seen you guys talking to them as well. Is it a kind of like amongst, hip hop, you guys say, hey, are we doing this? So it's kind of that's our crew. Like, how do you guys feel about these other artists that are out there doing what you guys are doing as well? Do you guys find it as a competitive nature, or do you guys kind of like, well, there's enough for everybody where everybody can eat?
Yeah, nah, it's no hate.
Yeah.
It's no hate, man. Y'all do y'all thing, man, and I wish y'all the best,
Yeah.
And, when we run into them, it's just like, oh, okay, they be doing the same thing I'm doing. So it's like, it's love, you know? It ain't no...
That's right.
I think that I'm this or that.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like I see them and we won.
See, that's dope. That's dope, because especially with the 685, you got to take us to this whole process of this song. This is one of the hugest songs that are out there, especially in this demographic and through music right now. Like, how'd that even come about for you?
That's Victor's song.
Yeah, Victor J. Cepho.
So, you know, we've been pushing the line for the 685 since we started this shit. And Victor hit me up about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He's like, Toulouse, I got this song. We're at the award show. So he walks around, he plays the phone to me, and I'm listening to it
At
like
the
this.
award show.
At the award show.
Wait, what award show is this?
Pacific Music Awards.
Yeah.
So he's playing the thing on the phone. I'm listening like this. And I was like, yo, that's nice. He's like, yeah, man, I need you to rap it. I'm like, hell yeah, to the 685 hook. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, let me get that track.
Yeah.
Let me get that track. I'm working on an album right now. I'm in the studio. I was like, let me get that track for the album.
He was like, nah, you can come feature on it, though.
Bro, that guy gave me the scene for a year.
Yeah.
He was following me, bro. And as soon as the album dropped, he goes, Tilly, man, here's the track.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tilly. So I featured, we were talking about this. He was laughing. He was like, nah, man, I don't want to give you the song. And that's the Oos.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he put us on that song. He had a vision.
Yeah.
And we were just gassing doing what we were doing. And he was like, I'm going to drop this at the right time. And he dropped it at the right time.
Yeah.
Who
Well,
would've
because how
known,
long
like,
was it before he dropped it? How long would you guys already did it already? Was it already for a
That
minute?
sounds like 4 years old.
Yeah. So
years
there
old,
was
bro.
it was all about timing at that point.
He dropped it before like the Toe SAMOA hit.
Yeah. Wow.
And then when that hit, that took the song as well with it along
Yeah.
the road. Then he dropped the remix with the homies from Australia. Took it even further. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, that shit was banging.
Yeah,
Everybody
like
was
when
saying that shit.
you do perform that like at Homeland and you jump up on the speaker. I almost fell, but we won't tell nobody. But when you do jump up on the speaker and you got that, but how do you feel having the crowd? Like that's what we're getting to. Having the crowd just singing your verse and what you're doing word for word. Tell us about that feeling, especially when you do it out here in New Zealand.
I get nervous before I hit the stage.
Yeah.
Once you hit the stage, you flying.
Yeah.
Flying right off the speaker. So I was about to do a stage dive, but then I was like, I'm heavy, so I don't want to stage dive and shit right on the face.
I don't think the stage dive was intended for us.
Yeah, man.
But D-Boy, for you, when you came out and everybody's whooping with you and they're singing along and they're rapping the words, like, how does that feel? You're in another country, bro. You know what I mean? If this was in Cali, you could see that already. But when you're in another country, how does that feeling? Take us through that whole experience for you.
Man, I honestly, like, couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, it was like, I'm on stage thinking, whoa, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And now the crowd was rocking. I was shocked. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
What's something to, like, to witness?
Definitely a humbling feeling, right?
Definitely, man.
That's history, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We made history of the weekend.
Because you figure when you guys are making these songs, I mean, maybe some artists do, maybe some artists don't. You never go into and factor in that thing. I could be on stage doing this song, and I'm gonna have kids of all ages singing it back and rapping it back to me. Like that would never be, what you guys go into the studio and say, okay, well this one I'm gonna do at a festival. And there's like a different mindset for it, right?
Yeah, like when I go in there, it's just like, you don't know if this song is gonna be big or not.
Yeah.
So it was just like, maybe they'll like it. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna drop it
Yeah.
and see what happens. And then, damn, look where shit went. Like, damn, that's crazy, man.
When you
Hell
guys
yeah.
are in this, are there certain songs that you guys like with 685 when you heard it, you knew that? Did you know at that point it was gonna be the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard the song, he sent the beat with the the space to put your verse. I wrote that shit in like 10 minutes. Some songs it takes me like 5 weeks to write.
But that one you just it
That one I
already
was just
grabbed you.
like, cause it felt like home.
Yeah.
The style, the flow. I was like, yo, we're back in the islands right now, about to go party. So
Yeah.
came through.
It was a
sent it to him.
no-brainer.
Yeah, and then Biggs was coming over for something else, so we ended up just catching up real quick on a Sunday and filming a video, and then dropped it, and it was gold.
And it was crazy about the videos, like the visuals, D-Boy, that you've been doing lately. Like, especially for all the, I feel like the video is a lost art that we kind of like, a lot of artists got away from. But when you started your career, you kind of had every visual follow every song that you had. Like, was that something that was an idea for you to kind of say, hey, if I'm gonna do a song, I need to have visuals for it? Because it's everything on YouTube that you have a visual to what you're doing. And especially you being out here in New Zealand, you're also shooting that as well. Like, what kind of concept for you kind of say, yeah, I need to have a visual to every song that I do?
Just so they can see and feel what I'm saying, and and just have that image for them to know what, like, they gotta see it, they gotta feel it, they gotta know it.
Because if they just hear it, it's a little bit different than seeing it.
Yeah, so when they see it, when they see the visual, they're gonna be like, all right, now they like the song.
Yeah. It's crazy how it's like visuals kind of draw people to songs. Like if they hear the song,
Because
it's cool.
they're gonna. So when they hear the song, they're gonna be thinking about the visuals.
Yeah.
So you gotta have the visuals, and you gotta go hard on them visuals.
You feel the same way about that too, Poetik? Where you feel like the visuals kind of give them a different aspect of what the song that you have going on?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's affirmative.
How important to you do you feel like, hey, if we're gonna drop this, we gotta have a visual?
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important, especially if it's a good song. And there's a song that we're filming a video clip to next Monday, and I was like, look, this song needs the most beautiful woman in all the universe.
Yeah.
And so the team's out there searching.
For the most beautiful women in the universe?
Yes. Miss Universe from Otara. There we go. Straight away.
Well,
You guys want?
we see. No, go ahead, because I'm leaving all these bottles with you. By the way, I can't take them back with me back.
So after last night, man.
But
Crazy.
going forward into what you guys' career are starting to be now, when you go back to Cali, like this has to light a fire under your ass to kind of say, okay, what's next for D-Boy?
Man, you know what? This definitely gave me that motivation.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that. Yeah, when I get back now, I'm gonna get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning on I'm working on my second album. I got some EPs coming.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to it.
What are some collaborations that you would say, okay, if you had anybody to collab with on this second album, who would be on your list?
Damn. Like some. I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
I haven't got that far yet. But,
What about you, Poe? You think that what collaborations that you see in the future for you?
My brother, man, right
Come
here.
on, man.
Oh, yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Shit in the pipeline. Don't worry. We got
My
beats,
bad, y'all.
everything.
Yeah.
We out here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We gonna get to work.
What are some of the artists when you guys aren't doing your own music that you guys listen to? D-Boy?
I be listening to like Lil Boosie.
Yeah.
I be listening to all kinds of people. I be playing some old school shit a lot. Some Quick,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I be listening to all types of artists for real.
Poetik?
Yeah, I've listened to everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause we come in the shop all the time. Since we've been here, every time we came in the shop, you've been bumping some stuff in here. Whether
Yeah.
it be from some R&B, whether it be from some other music, you've been having some. Because you got a shop, so it's important for you to have that.
But the
it's-
speaker broke. I think we drank the other night. Really, the thing bad. Like, I don't know. Not bad, but
Who
you know.
broke the damn speaker?
Anyway, what were you talking about?
Who's some of your musical that you're listening to right now? What music can you bumping out of yours?
Anita Baker, I've been playing a lot lately.
Nice. Okay, I see you, Poetic.
I'm trying to. They said I was too gangster for festivals here, so they never
So
put me
you're trying
on
to
nothing.
open up your mind, right?
Yeah, but then they fly over Freddie Gibbs and all that shit. Not saying any names of who you guys, you festival guys. That's all right. It's okay. But I thought, you know what? Like, we're human beings.
Yeah.
And we love music.
Yeah.
Like, we can do soft shit. We can do the stuff that our aunties can play with no
Yeah.
swear words. We can do radio stuff. So I've been trying to listen to the kind of music that just, eases the spirit a bit.
Yeah.
And just trying to figure it out. So our next bunch of singles is all going to be like, singing the hooks.
Nice.
Duck Downers.
Hold on, look at that.
Fuckers.
They followed me.
Yeah, I was about to say, they came for D-Boy.
Helicopters and everything, man.
D-Boy, what are some of the things in New Zealand that you've eaten that you've never had before that you
God damn, man. I gained about like 15 pounds. I can feel it.
Yeah. Shout out Blue Rose Cafe.
Yeah, bro.
Man, Blue
Shout out-
Rose with the palusami. Oh,
They had a
Lord.
palusami meat pie, the lamb and cream cheese meat pie.
Yeah.
That shit went crazy. I mean, eating all the fish and chips out here, the pork buns. I just had that the Marlboro bomb. It's a fried chocolate bar.
Yeah, they were just tell us about that. What is that, Poetic? It's a fried chocolate bar.
I don't know, man. That's Base's discovery. Base got all the discoveries, bro. I just kick it and drink, man. I don't eat.
Base then came in here with a bunch of like bootleg snacks. Like, where'd this come from?
I got you, man. He's like, what you beat up, dog?
He's like, these are coming out next week. I was like, what? What are these? Never had that Tim Tam flavor.
Chewy caramel.
I even
chewy
had
caramel.
McDonald's and it tasted different out here.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I had the double fish fillet, and they ain't had that in the States like that. I mean, it's a different kind of fish they use. Maybe it's just me, but McDonald's is hitting. KFC was hitting as well.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm like, come on, but what's next door to the shop?
Green Jades.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Shout out to Green Jade.
Green Jades.
Hey,
Avondale, legendary.
everything that I've ate from there,
It ain't, they
Fire.
ain't missed.
What
They
was
ain't
the,
missed.
what was the egg roll thing you said?
I had a curry egg roll.
What?
Curry egg roll, bro.
Oh, we got to try that because we had the
man.
fried wontons, and the fried wontons, god damn.
On the level. We're going to Ulutoy after this. Shout out Ulutoy. That's
They
the
got-
island food.
Oh, see, we definitely.
Bang,
Oh,
bang.
see, we 30 more pounds before we get it back.
Fuck it. Might as well. Shit.
So we got to also talk about the Booyah Tribe tribute and the Booyah Tribe documentary that Estevan's working on. You guys did a lot of work out here You guys went to travel to a lot of places. Without giving too much away, what does some of that mean to you guys being here in New Zealand and kind of getting that backstory, especially for you, D-Boy, kind of having Pop's family, just having that whole thing come about?
And it's been great, you know.
Yeah.
It's like finally something getting put together for their recognition, you know.
Yeah.
Man.
And you know, it just kind of sucks that, you know, my Uncle Red and my
Absolutely.
Monstah, on Godfather, they won't be here to see it, but it's gonna be set in stone for them. And you know, just being a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, you know, we've been through a lot, my family.
Yeah.
And I seen it growing up. Everything, the trials and the tribulations, and even the good with the bad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, they deserve it. So, you know, and, you know, just being a part of it and to be in there and do all these things with Estevan, it's like, you know, it's beautiful.
It's crazy, but
Man.
Poetic for you.
Shout out to Uncle Estevan, man. Thank you for everything you've done for the culture and everything you're doing for us and the uncles. Yeah.
It's definitely a beautiful thing.
I feel like, it's something that even to hear him say it's a story that needs to be told.
Yeah.
And so properly, I was like,
Yeah, just hearing that.
You know?
Just hearing that. Yeah.
because my whole life I was like, man, I felt like should have been a lot more recognition. You know, no disrespect to anybody, but I felt like the world need to know
Yeah.
the full stories and everything, and or like I hear stories behind the camera, like from Monstah Ganjah and, you know, Uncle Red and everything. I'm like, man, this is like a movie right here.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean-
So I want to see the movie before I die. I want to see the movie of Booyah Tribe.
And just like,
beginning,
just like D-Boy said, it was like it would have been good for them to get their flowers while they were here, especially, you know, Gangsta Red and, you know, Godfather and Monstah O, but to finally get to where the stories are at now. Like everyone to tell you that we grew up on, like I grew up as a kid, you know, kind of seeing them on Arsenio Hall and seeing them on MTV, you know, the Psycho Funk video, the rave, like who would ever thought that Samoans would be on MTV, on Yo MTV Raps?
See,
you know
and
what
I
mean?
missed that because I grew up in the islands. We didn't have all that stuff yet.
Yeah, so
you know?
that it differentiates for everybody. It's different for everybody. Like in the islands, they kind of got it late. When we were in California, you know, we was in the Bay Area and we was raised to that. And we seen them, like we actually knew them, so they would come to the Bay Area and we would kick it with Uncle Godfather, and you know, all of them would be there, and we were kids like in the candy store, like, you know, seeing Cobra and kind of seeing, you know, big ass Monstah, like dang, he hella buff, you know, as kids. And then you kind of see, like, you know, then it fast forward to me DJing their family reunion. You know what I mean? At South Point, and being with everybody from Godfather to Red, and everybody was there. And that was the last. There was a picture that we have that we'll put up now. There was all of us at South Point and just having all the Usos there now. And at that point, I said, look, you guys ain't getting your flowers the way you should be. And it sucks because I feel like something's gonna come, and I feel like this is what we was telling them about. You know, and it's bad that some of them aren't here to see it, but with the Uso Gotti, the Uso Cobra, I kind of knew that the flowers was coming, especially seeing Estevan do the Cypress Hill thing and doing the LA Originals and kind of seeing them a part of that. You know, you talk to everybody in the game of hip hop, they know who the hell Booyah Tribe was. But to kind of have Estevan's stamp of approval on it and have the LA Originals, Ice-T, you know, you have Cypress Hill saying, oh yeah, Booyah Tribe was some bad dudes, and Eminem. And we talked about that whole thing, like that history, and I think that chapter of it that they're gonna do with you guys, because seeing the footage that Estevan had of you guys kind of going down to Hamilton and getting all these, that has to feel something that resonate for you, especially you, D-Boy, kind of saying, look, that's Uncle is finally getting their flowers. Like, give us the feeling with that whole thing, just knowing the legacy they're leaving with you.
Man, it just feels like it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, everything's the seed is being planted, and, you know, it's finally here now.
Yeah.
So it's just great, man. I'm happy for them, you know. Especially all my uncles that aren't here, they played a big impact on my life.
Yeah.
So, you know, long live the tribe.
Forever. See, I'm getting emotional over here. My
Yeah.
bad. This is tequila, man. That's it. Damn it. Man.
But in closing, we'll do this. The way I wanted to come and bring you guys together was kind of just to tell you that you see you guys perform on stage, and, you know, Poetik, this is the first time we met in person, and we've been talking offline, you know, on through Instagram to say, ooh, when we come out there, I want to kind of get you on the podcast, and D-Boy, you know, Neff, I got to get you on the podcast, to kind of see where it kind of came in a full circle moment. We're all here in New Zealand in Poetik's shop. You know, it kind of goes full circle, but kind of give us this gist of this, what this festival brought together for you, with all these artists kind of showing you your love and giving you your flowers.
It's a family reunion.
Yeah.
You know, we all family.
Yeah.
You know, we might not have, you know, grew up together and all that, but when you get together, You feel the love.
It's crazy.
A real person can tell real love.
Yeah.
You know, a real person can see it. They can feel it in their heart.
You can also tell the fake shit too.
Can also tell the fake shit. You know, and that's fine. That kind of stuff, God bless you, keep it moving. We do what we do.
Absolutely.
We don't want to get caught up in the negativity and feed off of that. We want to stay positive. So this whole week, man, it's a blessing. Like, and it, yeah, man. It's thank you guys, man.
Yeah,
thank you, brother.
Thank
Told you I love you, bro.
Yeah.
I got you forever.
Man, love, bro.
D-Boy, what did this trip mean for you as well, for you and your family and your career?
Man, I told myself I'm gonna do this one for the family.
Absolutely.
This whole trip. So like,
did it have a different feeling when you do it for the family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like I had to honor them.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't really, you know, I did my thing on there, and for sure, I got my shine on.
Yeah.
But really, I was like, you know, this one for them. This whole show, this whole trip, I'm gonna make this dedicated to them, and you know, to be represented, to be the representative for them like that. That shit was heavy on my mind, you know. But man, we did the damn thing.
You definitely seen it out there. Poetik, we appreciate you for letting us use the shop that everybody should come to. Avondale, come spend some money with the Uso over here. I'm telling you, because we got to go shopping before we get on this plane. D-Boy, Neff, love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Poetik, man, keep putting on for the people. And I'm telling y'all, this is not the last time you're going to hear from Western Conference Podcast. Poetik, D-Boy, we here. See you on the next one. Peace. Podcast on location here in Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm telling you, we got you a treat for y'all. We came here to do the Homelands Festivals, but we had to come talk to our Usos, Mr. Brother D from Don Raid, Monstah Ganjah. You already know what it is. How you doing, my brothers?
Very well, bro. Malo lover to everyone listening in, tuning in. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming through.
Man, you know, every time we come to Auckland, we gotta pay our respects to you guys, because you guys been in the game for a long time, Brother D.
Yeah, it's been it seems full circle, you know, when we first come out to the U.S. and now we see the U.S. like coming, you know, back here. It's awesome for me to see, and you know what I mean? It's a holiday here, and I had to cancel my holiday just to be here. You know what I mean?
It's a holiday right now. This is a holiday.
Yeah.
But Ganj, how's it feel to be back, man?
Oh, man, it feels good.
Yeah,
it feels real good, you know, being around family, so... yeah, it feels great.
And for those who don't know, I hate to always use this. When I say Google Brother D and the Don Raid Brothers, Google Brother D and the Don Raid Brothers, because if you haven't seen the documentary, you're under a rock and something wrong with you. But they have their own. Tell them about the documentary real quick, Oos.
Yeah, well, you know, if you ever fly on the plane in New Zealand, that's our airplane company in New Zealand. Ooh. They have it online, so you know what I mean. But yeah, the story is just about how Andy and I started a music company, a brown music company, specifically and intentfully for our Pacifica and Maori people. Yeah. And, you know, the dream was always to take our young artists to the U.S.
Yes.
That was our dream. Create a bridge that we can cross over and we can pass on to the next generation to go back and forth. And now it's happening. So, you know.
But let's really put it to perspective, where you guys were doing this when there wasn't social media. There wasn't the tools that we have today. We're talking about hand-to-hand flyers and guerrilla marketing. Like, tell us about that age, because you've seen the difference between when you guys were coming up and to how easy. I'm telling you guys got it easy. The artists now, because now you don't need a label. Now you have social media as your label and you're your own brand. But tell us how it was like a struggle for you guys even dealing with that. This is before cell phones.
Yeah. Oh, this is even before, you know, young kids are making music in the bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You had to go to a studio.
We had to go to a studio. And it used to cost us a lot of money, so we built our own studio.
Yeah, see?
You know what I mean?
The hustler's mentality.
Hell yeah. You know, we just saw the money we were spending at the studio. Yeah. We're like, man, if we spend this over 12 months, 24 months, we're paying the same amount. We could buy our own. So,
why not, right?
So that's what we did. We invested. We invested our money into our own studio. So then we got 24/7 around the clock. Our artists, those guests who come from all over the world, could come into our studio, go in there, do a cut, and that was that, you know?
Because people don't know, I mean, or they do know, like the lineage and the history that you guys have as Don Raid. When you went through New Zealand, you had to come through and kind of not check in with y'all like on some gangster shit, but check in with y'all to kind of say, hey, look, we're the pillars in the music stuff of what we're doing, because you guys were entrepreneurs, especially in this Pacifica space that we're in, to kind of say, look, we want to do this for our people. So that was also a challenge, because if y'all ain't seen Andy, he the whitest white boy I ever seen in my life. He was Andy before Eminem was the white boy and everything. But when you have the white boy and you have Brother D, how was that even a struggle to kind of even get that across?
We met at business school.
Yeah.
You know, while I was working, I used to work on the doors, and I used to see the money go all the way into the office. And I used to tell the boys, we need to be in the office.
Absolutely.
So I went to do an accounting paper to become an accountant. But while I was there, I met Andy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the thing about learning business, you realize us as Polynesians, and back in those days, we couldn't go into boardrooms. We couldn't enter those conference rooms. We couldn't sit and make a deal. If we can, it will only be worth like $5,000. You know,
not what they were actually getting, because we would get the small end.
That's right. Yeah. So I knew I had to have a white face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
In comes Andy.
It's all about that.
Yeah.
And he knew that. And so, you know, a lot of the business was always done. Andy did all the business on the front end. And then right at the end, he goes, oh, just hang on. I got to get my business partner. He'll sign in too. And these old men, you got to remember, back in those days, these were the old men that created the dawn raids on our people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They were the one that was sitting in the boardrooms. So when they saw me walk in, they were like, oh shit!
Yeah.
You know, they realize I'm a son of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up, you know, it happened in my family.
Yeah.
But you know, we knew in business they will never let me sign a $100,000 check, a contract to their value. They'll never give it to me. So I had to have my palangi boy. You know what I mean? And Andy is that good. And because then he came and spent 2 years living with me, and I said, the thing you got to do in order to learn our culture, you take my grandmother to church every Sunday.
Wow.
You know what
that's
I mean?
when you gonna learn real fast.
Real fast.
And so that's where it all started, and that's why, you know, Andy has he's very loyal in that sense of what we do and that. But you know, he's still got his little palangi ways.
But you need that. You need that, because you need that. That's the verbiage they speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sometimes we don't need to get ego at it, because he's literally one of us.
Yeah.
But you know,
but outside looking in, if you don't know Andy, it could come off as like, what the hell, you know, that's Jerry Heller, you know.
Jerry Heller.
Because when you have that stigma of like, you see the palangi guy, you see, but when they come together with you, it's like, okay, it comes full circle, because tell them where the name Don Raid comes for those who don't know that are watching. The Don Raid has a whole different meaning in its own right.
Yeah, back in the 60s and the 70s, when our people first come over here into New Zealand, they got us here. We were invited here to come and work in the factories. Because nobody wanted to work in the factories. So we came over. Our parents came over. They worked in the factories. But then once the work started drying up in there, they wanted to send our asses back.
Wow.
Yeah, so they created...
Used you. They used them and then send them back.
So the visas became that card in order to come and get our people. So they used to come and raid our houses in the morning. Happened to my cousin, and you know, I said to my mom, I remember saying, "Oh, what happened? Why are they taking him away? What did he do?" And he goes, "Oh, he's only here. He's just overstayed his stay."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where the word overstayer comes from.
Come on.
You know, there's a
little
education for you all. You know what I mean? Overstayer came from that.
Yeah.
You know, and so when we started our company, we got into T-shirts, and we were like, you know what? We're gonna be brash. We're gonna put slogans.
Yeah, branding.
You know, ours.
Yes.
Ours. Nobody else's. Overstayers. You know, Kikapisi did it. He put overstayers on in front of his T-shirt. You know what I mean? We put Dawn Raid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We put Bungas worldwide. Bunga was a term they used to call us. It's like coconuts.
Yeah, it was like the derogatory part. Yeah,
man,
exactly.
There's that big word right there. Thank you, big body. You know,
that's what I'm here for, guys. You know, I was trying to get them.
But that's how it was.
Yeah.
And we grew up. It may not be your history, but there's our history. And we grew up in that, you know? And so when I was, when me and Andy was like, man, we got to start our own company. You know, this is right because of taxes in there. So it's like, okay. And he asked me, you got a name? I said, yeah. because I've been speaking about it. When I used to have my group called the Lost Tribe, shout out to the boys.
Yeah, man.
You know, we spoke about that.
Yeah.
We spoke about coming here, you know, and just getting the money. But, you know, our plan is not to stay here, it was to go back.
Yeah.
And it was go back home to Samoa, to Tonga. You know, that's deep down in our hearts, that's where we want to get to.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's like the history. Like, that's just a quick history lesson for those who's watching. But to have that name, it kind of held a lot of weight because those who had it, you know, they're like, okay, what's this Don Raid all about?
Yeah.
And for you guys to kind of bring it to the forefront and kind of say, look, we're going to make a business out of this, doing T-shirts, and then the music game. Because because go to the documentary to find everything out about. Because heavy hitters in this music game, when I tell y'all, there's still things to this day that me and Gons was just talking about. Was like, oh yeah, Andy and Brother D had a hand in that somehow.
Yeah. No, but you know, the thing about Dawn Raid, it was also political.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a statement. You know what I mean? I wanted to put a flag in the ground to say this is who we are.
Put the stamp on.
Yeah,
it.
hell yeah. And then you know the other flip side to that, I knew one day I have my children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I needed them to understand what Dawn Raid was.
Oh, and the
that's
legacy,
the only way. This is the only way. We got to pass it on.
Yeah.
And this is what, you know, all you guys doing rap music, all you guys singing songs, all you guys, you know, tell your history.
Yeah.
Remind your children where you're from. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a lost art. And a lot of people that try to get, it gets lost in translation.
Yeah.
And when you do have the kids kind of say, damn, my dad did that, and kind of just had a hand in with this footprint of hip hop, especially in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And to kind of have you guys hand on that, it's just, it got to be for the kids. Cool dad, remember that, cool dad.
That's why I love the legend Fiji.
Yeah.
And island
shout out to Brother
reggae.
Fiji. Yeah,
oh
man.
hell yeah. You know, that's why he's the only artist that comes out here and I'll come down and host him.
Yeah. Oh,
you
man.
know, because the brother has been carrying this flag for so long for us.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
He's
And, you
been
know,
been our forefather right
yeah,
there.
hell yeah. And he grew that. You know, island reggae was nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, until you know,
They didn't know what even that
Born
was.
and Raised came out,
Yes.
man, we were all
Changed
like,
the game.
Who is that? You know, all of a sudden we got a Fijian singing Josefina.
Exactly.
Are we allowed to do that? Are we allowed to sing like we Samoans? Are we allowed to sing Fijian songs or Tongan songs?
It definitely was a game changer.
Changed everything. So it's a big shout out to Fiji because we look to him.
Yeah.
You know, as we were growing up trying to groom our scene here in Aotearoa, I looked at Fiji. We love reggae music. That's part of hip hop for New Zealand, Aotearoa, Samoan hip hop for a
Definitely
long time.
element. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's why we're able to go ahead and make songs like, you know, Monstah Ganjah featuring Boog. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This is
platinum,
love.
by the way. Platinum, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Platinum. We're going to get into that too, guys.
Well, it's easy for us to do that mashup.
Yeah.
Because this is who we are. We get two of our own, mash it up, create a new sound that people
and it's
never
the
heard.
creativeness, and I think
That's right.
it was the vision that you and Andy had for the music scene out here. You was, you know, definitely seeing what was going on in the States.
Yeah.
It was saying, how can we do that and put it into our own way over here in New Zealand? And I think, you know, you had the spawns of your guys' success, like the brothers like Monstah Ganjah, and kind of putting that whole element between him and Boog and kind of having that crossover thing, because we're always working.
Yeah.
And when we say we're always working, we're trying to work to find what the next thing is. And I think you and Andy were ahead of the game when your vision of it kind of like, did it make sense at the time?
Yeah.
But as it went on, you guys were like, see, I told y'all motherfuckers this is what it was. You know what I mean?
No, all I knew was there was mainstream.
Yeah.
And there was us at that point in time. You know what I mean? And when all I wanted to say, I said to Andy, we got to go to mainstream.
Yeah.
We got to take our sound, still keep it us.
Yeah.
But we got to have it mainstream sound.
Yeah.
We got one day radio will pick up on our vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you guys come to Aotearoa, to New Zealand now. You see Pacific people on TV.
Yeah.
You see them, you hear it on radio. You know what I mean?
And you would never thought that would have happened. You know what I
Never.
mean? Especially 20, 30 years ago, you're like, this would never happen.
Right.
But then enters Booyah Tribe.
Yeah.
And that's what takes us into this next segment, because
Yeah.
Booyah Tribe was the epitome of Samoans being on mainstream.
Yep.
You know, I remember being a kid seeing them on Arsenio Hall and
Yeah.
seeing the Raid video on MTV and
Yeah.
Psycho Funk and all that.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy because they were in between Carson, the Bay Area, and
Yeah.
us as a kid. You know, I grew up, I was like, dude, that was the first time to say we could do something mainstream.
Yeah.
Because at first we always thought it was like, you know, the Meulis, the Whites,
Yeah,
the everybody
yeah.
else, where we didn't have that stage. But as soon as you seen these big old Usos from Carson and, you know, them playing with you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and
Yeah.
that was the epitome of what mainstream was for us. But then they had strong ties to New Zealand. Tell us how that came about.
When we first saw that, you know, we were listening to NWA.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This was the music that we were growing up on. And then we saw these brothers on TV. And they look like us.
Yeah.
They're long hair like us. You know what I mean?
Built like
they
us.
built
Right, hold
like
up.
us.
What do you mean now, Monstah? Oh, rest in peace. He was a little bit buffer than all of us, man.
You feel me?
But you know, we saw us.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I saw them, they were on TV. You know, with MWA and along those same shows
On your
and
MTV Raps and all this other
and
stuff.
I was
What's
like,
going on?
I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my little brother John, I was like, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the cosign.
Yeah.
We can go. You know what I mean? And this is just in a little garage in South Auckland. You know, these just kids just sitting in there having a little sip and just watching.
Yeah, and it's crazy
You know?
how big it transpires over here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We had a meet and greet today with D-Boy.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of seeing all the fans come out there and, you know, them talking to me about, you know, my podcast. They talking about you, about, you know, all the songs that you came and the whole Booyah and Brother D. They were like in awe. And seeing all of us together,
Right.
kind of, you know, there for the Uso Brother D and make sure that they, you know, a D-Boy was out there signing autographs and just kind of like resurrect somebody that comes from the West Coast, that comes from the States.
Yeah.
Like that's why it transitions to you, Ganjah, where you're a kid in Cali and then you coming over here and kind of putting your foot in the stable. Tell us the whole story, because this kind of always crosses itself right here.
It does.
Yeah.
From the Booyah Tribe era into what you, as far as what your part in history is. So tell us about that, Monstah.
So basically, as you know, this dragon.
Yes.
I'm not a devil worshiper. I am born again. No, it's from a good friend of mine, which is from a group called the Loonies. I got 5 on it.
Regime.
Come
on, man.
So the homie Yuckmouth brought me on tour.
Oh yeah.
And then
Shout out Yuck, man.
Yeah, that's my brother right there. Shout out Yuckmouth, man. Then we came out here, and I think it was about 2004, and it was the first time I ever been out here.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yep.
Polynesians everywhere on TV making movies. And I didn't know Brother D or Andy.
Yeah.
But the white boy come up to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My bro, he comes up to me and he was like, I know who you are. And I was like, for real? Because at that time, I was, signed with Rap a lot as far as Yuckmouth doing Smoke a lot. So I had a little, I was on United Ghettos 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like,
Come on,
I know.
talk your shit, Ganjah.
Man,
Come on.
you feel me?
Tell the history, man.
So I was on United Ghettos 1, and then Andy was like, I know who you are. And I was like, no, you don't. I was like, he was like, you're the nephew of the Booyah Tribe, Monstah Ganjah. And I was like, whoa. So
And you trip because that Andy's, they're just doing your homework.
Yeah.
Brother D and Andy already know. It's okay, who the Usos doing their thing out there. So when you guys do come out here, that's the introduction. I know who you are.
Man,
you know what I mean? Exactly.
And that's Andy. Andy's like real educated and all that. Got everybody's CDs, the eras and timelines.
Yeah.
So then I met the brother, the Uso, my big Uso brother D, and then I seen, because they had, the Decons, Decepticons. Shout out to the homies.
Man.
My Uso,
Shout out to
Savage,
Decepticons.
Morocco, Frisk, Devolo. Yeah. Then I met them and I was like, dang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's basically how it happened. And then
because it's a culture shock for you to come from Cali, West Coast hip hop. You and Aotearoa, you're like, hold up. What's going on over here? You guys are doing this over here too?
Yeah, it was.
That's how I was when I came out
It was
here.
a big shock.
Yeah.
I felt like this was Hawaii times 10.
Yeah.
And I was just tripping. So then I was like, had a talk with Andy, and I was like, man, I was peeping out everything. Don Ray, peeped out everything, and then me and Gangsta Rick came back.
Man.
And then
Rest in peace to Gangsta
man,
Rick.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
my uncle Gangsta Rick. So we came back, just me and him. We went to Australia. They had the Urban Music Awards, right? And then Brother D was over there, Radner, Decepticons, and then Andy was like, we're going to bring you over to do a tour. So it was just me and Red. We came here, and that's when we really locked in with Brother D, and Andy and the Don Ray family, and we toured all over the country.
Yeah.
And then that happened. That was big. And then I came back again. You know what I'm saying? And I had a situation with Don Raid, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
This is love, like you, mixed emotions.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk your shit, guys. Because when I say this is love, I mean, people don't know this is a certified platinum record right there.
Right.
Because that's something to be proud of. You could walk around and say, oh, all these little, it's cute what y'all doing, but because it's always, nowadays, the streams, they go by streams now, right, Brother D?
Yeah, but the other thing about This Is Love, it was a moment in time where I wanted to, a lot of our artists, They didn't know their Samoan roots, even here in New Zealand.
Right.
So I had a good friend over there, rest in peace, Ray, Big Ray.
Yeah, man.
You know, me and him talked and we chopped it up and said, you know, Ray, if I bring them over, I want them to experience their families over there, you know, the villages.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I'll host it all, D, just bring them over.
Yeah.
Boog and everybody who's ever been to Samoa with us, they will know Big Ray.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a moment in time that allowed us to go there. You know what I mean? And I remember we went there with Jerry J. Boog and his brothers.
Telly.
Big
Yeah,
Toph,
man.
rest
Big
in
Toph,
peace.
rest in peace, Toph.
Yeah.
Salute,
You know what I
Big
mean?
Toph.
And brothers who are not here anymore.
Yeah.
And these are the memories that I keep, you know,
Yeah.
because I know it was a first situation for most to go back to Samoa.
Yeah.
You know, and now that channel's open.
Yeah.
Now we got, you know, a lot of our brothers going back and, you know, performing in Samoa. We even got our, you know, Australia boys going over and performing in Samoa. Everybody's got to go back to homeland.
Was that the vision for you, though, Brother D, to kind of say, look, we're doing this music, but we got to go back to the homeland and make sure they see what the fruits of their labor is as far as what products of being of Samoa.
Yes, because I was born in Samoa.
Yeah.
You know, I was born underneath a coconut tree. Everybody will tell you that. That's my life.
Yeah.
And so I always knew one day it was always about going back home. But for a lot of these artists, they didn't know because a lot of them, their parents were born here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so they didn't know. And they were picking up the street culture, the Māori culture. And I was like, no. Well, you got your own culture too.
Yeah.
Let's go have a dose. You know what I mean? And so for a good period of like 10 years, we were going, every year we'll go back.
Yeah.
And do shows in Samoa.
And it was something you guys had to do.
Yeah.
Like it was because you see the success in New Zealand and the States, so why not go back home and kind of just say, look, look what we're doing.
Right.
To show the world what we're doing as well.
And I remember when we 2009 when the tsunami hit Samoa.
Yeah.
You know, we did a big festival here. We raised just under $500,000 New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, we're taking it back, but I only want to take it the way I know how.
Yeah.
That's with all our musical artists, because these are the people who raised the money.
Yeah.
And so I remember, I don't know if you guys remember the Yandel sisters.
Yes, come on, man.
Come on.
Legendary right there.
Yeah. Well, I asked the Yandel sisters, would you mind coming with me
Yeah.
to go back to Samoa? The Yandel sisters, it's been like 30 odd years, they've never been back to Samoa.
Wow. So just to bring them back was like, oh, that was something.
Oh, bro, these are our legends.
Yeah.
You know, Jerome Gray, you
on,
know,
man.
these are all our Punya Lava, who's
Yeah.
still smashing it to this day.
Man.
These are our legends.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, would you like to come? Yeah, they were like, we'll love to. D.
Yeah.
And they did. And you know what? That show we had, it sold out in like 10 minutes. That show we took to Samoa.
Yeah.
They had the Endo sisters, and I also took our sister Annie Crummer over there. But
man.
that show there, we had the older Samoans come out, you know?
And that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
too. You want to get the older and the young and everybody in between.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that about the festivals that we do today. We try to cater to everybody.
Yeah.
Cater to the young, cater to the old, cater to the
Yeah.
middle age, where I think it's a lost art in our culture that I see. We're the only ones kind of doing that. You know,
Yeah.
if you have a rap concert like Rolling Loud, they're going to do just the rap, just the hip hop.
Right.
They're not really catering to everybody.
Yeah.
I think when we put on a show and everyone that, you know, our festival producers, they kind of have that in the back of their mind of being Polynesian where, hey, we got to do something for the old, you got to do something for the young.
Right.
And I think that is what holds our culture, because you'll go to a festival and see all ages there.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I've seen more and more festivals pop up in the US, you know,
Yeah.
Pacific festivals, and I love it. I love how it goes from one extreme to the
Yeah.
other. And all our age group, and they can all come. It's like a family
Yeah,
event.
because they couldn't do that 20 years ago.
That's
You know what,
right.
Brother D?
That's
like
right.
to see it come to fruition now, like, you know, you have the Lauryn Hills, the Wyclef Johns, mixed and meshed
Right.
with our island
Yeah,
artists.
yeah.
And we got to be proud, because I'll tell you a moment in Australia. It was one of the Promised Land when I was sitting side stage. I just brought out Common Kings, and I'm sitting next to Wyclef John.
Yeah.
And Wyclef looks, he's like, man, these boys are bad, talking about Common Kings.
Wow. Yeah.
And, you know, we grew up on Fugees. We
Yeah.
grew up on, you know, Wyclef.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
kind of look
man.
back to him. I normally don't fan out.
Had
I
a
fanned
moment.
out.
Had a moment.
I took my phone. I said, bro, I'm a fan. And dude, the whole day at Promise, he was just kicking it with us. And he started freestyling with us. He was like, man, he goes, I got to get with the Samoans. And that was something that Brother D and Andy was doing before this moment came.
Yeah.
We're saying they seen that vision where we're going to get these mainstream to kind of mingle with the artists, because
Oh,
that was
yeah.
something big with you and Andy, where you were saying, if they can do it, we could do it too.
Yes.
You guys were in New York. You guys were doing
we brought a young boy over
Yeah.
there. That was our biggest
Yes.
project we did.
Yeah.
You know, I believe he's probably still to this day one of the most talented New Zealand hip hop artists that we had, and we took him over there. This young boy from Manurewa. We put him on the plane and said, let's go.
Yeah.
We believe you can foot it. And we arranged, you got a friend. Shout out to my man, Kirk Harding.
Man, come
if you're
on.
watching Kirk, I love you, brother.
Man.
There's another brother. He's from Mangere. He's
Big names.
Balangi boy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. If you
Big
know Kirk
names.
Harding, you know Burner
Google
Boy.
Burna Boy.
Go Burner Boy. Then you understand what I'm talking about.
Like,
you
you see the Burner Boys and you see
Yeah.
the artists now. Like, Brother D sitting back seeing those.
Yeah.
And signing, okay, who's behind that? We see the front of it.
Yes.
You still to this day says, okay, who's taking care of Burner Boy or who's doing that? And you
Yes.
guys know the back end, know the
Yes.
people that are kind of bringing this all to the front.
Yes.
And that's what's kind of dope about it, because when you have your name rings, synonymous with all these, you go to these top execs in the game now, they know who Don Raid is. They know who Andy and Brother D is. And that kind of holds weight to us artists like to do it today. Doing these podcasts, and I tell you guys before, I do this because I want them to know the history.
Yes.
We have the Don Raid documentary, but you have these podcasts that kind of say, look, how was the Monstah Ganjah interaction? How did this whole thing with Brother D go? Like, it's just crazy how
I'm
it came
sure
full
you've
circle.
seen it, like even yourself, kids are coming up to you about Western Conference.
Yeah,
podcast.
that was crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how real it is here. Our young people here, they're hungry for more knowledge.
Yeah.
They're hungry for more Pacific, And
And they're
then
specifically searching those.
Hell
Like talking to the
yeah.
Samoan kid at D-Boy's meet and greet, he said, bro, we look on YouTube and all they do is try to find everything Polynesian, everything Samoan, everything Tongan. So he said he came upon me and Booyah Tribe's podcast.
Yeah.
And he said ever since then I've been a fan. Like, and I'm looking at this kid, this is a straight Samoan kid. And I'm like, wait, you know who we are? So it's crazy because it brings us to a back where these kids in Aotearoa are searching, Booyah Tribe in the Google search, Western Conference podcast, Monstah Ganjah, and stuff like that too. And it's great to see you come full because we have the younger artists seeing what we're doing.
But the thing is, this is only music.
Yeah. There's so
Just
many
that
different avenues.
The same weekend we've had,
Yeah.
the Homeland Festival, there was a game of rugby league
Yes.
on other side of town
Yep.
in Auckland, in the biggest outdoor arena in Auckland called Eden Park.
Yeah, shout out Tams out there. Tams run that whole thing over there.
Yeah. Shout out to Taz. But the thing is, even our sports stars, most of those boys are playing in the NRL in Australia.
Yeah.
They come home, when they come to New Zealand, their parents were from here, for a lot of them. And so when they came here to play, man, they just saw there was nothing but Samoans out there.
Man,
the
it's a
flags were
beautiful
flying.
thing.
You know what I
Flags
mean?
was up there.
Yeah. And so my thing is our kids, it's just not music.
Yes.
It's about sports.
Yeah.
It's about
Movies,
whatever.
everything.
Podcasts.
Everything,
Yes.
entertainment,
Movies.
man.
You know what I mean? Wherever there is actors, we
Yeah.
got actors. We got Polynesian actors. who are up
Especially in
there.
New Zealand. Like,
Big
everything from
time.
Siona's wedding to everything you
Yeah.
see now, it's just like, man. And they're still in the game relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just become more to the mainstream where say, oh, wait, there was a Maori dude who did that. Or that's a Samoan actor. That's a Tongan actor. And it's good to see because we're just kind of sitting back, soaking it all in. Because, Brother D, you've seen it all come to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's my only other thing, man. I wish, if The Rock is watching, bro, open
Come on,
those
Rock.
stores. Open those stores.
Come on, Rock.
We got
Dwayne.
young actors in
$7
LA. We got in America
Yeah.
who want that opportunity. Give it to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you made it up there.
Yeah.
Open the channel. Let the next ones come up. You know
And
what I mean?
that's what your vision always been. Like
Yeah.
if somebody's up there like that, like The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we expect him to do it, but you
Right.
would think,
Yeah.
for your people.
Mono.
Do you need a podcast?
If you say mono one more damn time and not gonna look like let me not get on your best. But it's good to see to have like that's the mainstream, like that's the pinnacle. You know what I mean? Because he has the fans from all over the world.
Right.
For us as coming up and just doing what we do, we're just happy to have a few fans. But
Right.
to have it a worldwide appeal,
Yes.
which The Rock does, but you see the worldwide appeal and what we're doing now with the podcast, with the music,
Yeah.
with the movies that everything's
Yes.
doing. Like to kind of see where it comes from Booyah Tribe, from you, Monstah Ganjah, especially. How do you guys see this coming in the next 10 years? What do you see this whole demographic of what we're in right now in the next 10 years?
It's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's just like how they have black entertainment TV in America. I think the Polynesian wave is the next thing to blow up. And so I just think it's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
And you see Tua Tagovailoa, his
Come on.
little brother right
come
there
on.
at Maryland.
Yeah.
And every other Samoan in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna blow up. Entertainment, sports, art, music. Man.
Brother D.
Shout out to Ngalu, sorry. Ngalu towards dad. They were down here with Jesse Sapolu.
Yeah.
On some
Shout out
Polynesian
Jesse Sapolu,
improv,
man.
bro.
That's the
OG.
Uso right
That's a
there.
legend right
Yes.
there.
Legend, man.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain people I use the word legend.
Yeah.
You know, and Jesse Sapolu is a legend, bro.
And it's crazy when you call legends. So Jesse was on the podcast, and you know me growing up as a kid,
right?
And I had I try not to fangirl out too much because not only Jesse Sapolu, I'm a 49er fan. So when we have him, but you go from Jesse Sapolu to having a kid like Talanoa Hufanga on a thing, like just you see the difference between a legend like Jesse, 4 Super Bowl rings, and then you got this kid who's made the Pro Bowl in his second year. You know what I mean? It just goes crazy because he's a Tongan kid from a Samoan kid. It's like, man, these are our people. You know what I mean? And how the hell they sit down with me, first of all. But second to that, because they come full circle, they come to New Zealand and they still hold that weight. Jesse can come up here. Everybody out here knows who Jesse is.
Right.
Everybody knows who Tua Tagovailoa is.
Right.
And just to come out here and give back, because Jesse's out here. He was, I'll be there next month.
Yeah.
He seen that I was out here. He was able, I'm going to be there next month.
Wow.
So just kind of see them always
they
coming.
came through and they saw what I was doing. You know, working in tech with our young kids.
Yeah.
And they came and donated 20 laptops.
Wow.
You know, because
man.
Microsoft is one of their sponsors.
Yeah.
And they brought 20 laptops.
Wow.
This is the great Jesse Sapolu, Ngalu, Ma'atanu Vasa.
Yeah, man.
You know, they
legends.
Yeah. And man, they just came and they donated 20 laptops for our kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know, that's
Just to have that means. It just touched, because Polynesian Football Hall of Fame, like what they're doing in Hawaii, like
Junior,
like all these legends that we all grew up on, it's kind of just crazy where it all ties back into what we're doing now.
Right.
Like what Monstah Ganjah brought to the game, what Brother D and Don Ray and Andy brought to the game, what we're all continuing to bring to the game. Like, and I gotta ask you that question when I asked Monstah, Brother D, what do you see? Because you've seen it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, what do you see it in this next 20, especially being such a pillar in what you are in this game?
So Homeland Festival, if anybody, like, I study, you know, and so I study the lineup on Homeland Festival.
Yeah.
You know, there's kids on there, you know, kids like Young Go, you know, D-Boy, you know, kids who probably will never get a look in from mainstream promoters.
Absolutely.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
And yet our kids are so much... such fans of Young Go and D-Boy,
Huge,
you know,
huge,
that you know, when they turned up on our shores here, man, they all came out.
The reception was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and so that's what I see.
Yeah.
I see, you know, mainstream media may not pick up on our vibe of our young artists come through, our people. But man, you know, they tuning into podcasts. They tuning any place they can find it. They getting it.
They're trying to be sponges and they want to soak up everything that we're doing.
And so, you know, we encourage it. You know, and I know, you know, there's always street politics and everything.
And everything we do. You know what I mean?
But I'm telling you,
at the end of the day,
when you guys come here, music is gonna take you around the world.
Man,
you feel me?
We were tripping off that the other day.
You feel me? Shout out KT.
You feel me?
But
He's still here, bro.
And everyone gets sample doses of what we're talking about, like the Uso Craig. Nephew Craig, he's on Rolling Loud.
There you go.
Like, just kind of having those aspects of, you know, him being the first Polynesian actor to be on, that kind of just puts it puts the fire under these artists to say, I can see D-Boy on Rolling Loud.
Right.
I can see Young Go on Rolling Loud.
Right.
But they need somebody to kind of sit there because the norm is what they already have there.
Yeah.
But to kind of have Craig kind of crack those doors open a little bit. No, I love my security. We're not just a security staff. Now we on the stage.
Hello.
That's right.
Now we're hosting the thing. So just kind of seeing them, what I seen at the Homelands Festival was
that's right.
The reception for D-Boy, the reception for Young Go.
To now.
Yes.
Poetik.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Uso Poetik, man.
So these are our young ones coming through. You know, stop catching cases.
Yeah, for real.
Stop it. You know what I mean?
Because you can't come to New Zealand if you got a case.
You can't come to New Zealand. You can't go to Australia. You can't go to France. You can't go to Europe. You can't go to England. They need our music there. We got people there.
Yeah. Teach them now, Brother D.
So stop it.
But
you know what I mean?
Stop calling Brother D and thinking that Brother D's gonna get you guys out here with your cases.
No,
Brother D can only do so much.
Much love, man. But man, I that's what I love. I love seeing, and shout out to Green and Q and all the team.
Shout out to Island City family.
They put on Homeland Festival. Man, You all believed in these young ones.
Yeah.
You did the numbers. You looked at the analytics,
Yeah.
and you saw we had young fans here.
Yeah.
You know,
And there was young
that's
fans
people
here
who
that
are
took care.
studying. There's a science to
Yeah.
this. Understand that.
And still
You know
looking
what I-
out for the young talent here in New Zealand. Like
Yeah.
when they had the Dreamland stage. Shout out to
Yeah,
you hosting
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was huge for me because I went over there and
Yeah.
checked out some of this. Shout out Elena, and I keep talking about Hales and
Yeah.
all these kids that are coming
But
up
they
out
don't-
here.
Hales is a talent.
Man, Hales is one of those. He said, "What do you have any advice?" I said, "Make timeless music."
Yeah.
And I said it to a lot of these kids that are
That's
in.
right.
I said, Feej, you can still hear Sweet Darling 30 years later, and I call that timeless music. You can't drop the dun and hear that in about 30 years. I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're making music now, make timeless music.
Yeah.
And these kids in New Zealand, like you said earlier, they're soaking it up like a sponge. Where these groups, like the artists like Elena that we're gonna have on here as well, Hales, and you have what was the other one we had that was taking the stage. All these, I'm just kind of sitting there and all like I know the House of Shams. Shout out my brother.
Yeah.
Shout out all Tomorrow people, but to kind of see the young, hungry artists.
That's
DJ
right.
Seffel? Or?
Yeah. But
him.
they had a lot of Sam V and like a lot of these people that were there.
The young dudes.
Yeah.
But seeing, I think from what you come from, Brother D, the hunger. And that's something that I
Yes.
see. We do festivals all the time. And not to like beep our home, but to see all the festivals that I do, I'd rather go see the young, hungry talent.
Right.
Because I already know what the big acts are
future.
gonna do.
Yeah, I feel
know what the main acts are
right.
gonna do because we've done those. To see the future kind of like
Yeah.
soak
That's
up the
big.
game, take a little bit from this artist, a little bit of that, and some game from Brother D and
That's
Andy,
right.
whatever they're doing.
Man,
Come
you
on.
know, shout out to DJ Noise. You
Yeah,
know,
yes,
you know
yes.
the
DJ Noise,
Kenyon
Lil
Brown,
The whole
man.
Future Now family over
that's
there,
right.
man.
The Now Lewis.
Yeah.
you know
Peanut
these,
Butter.
Peanut
that's
Butter.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy when I saw them stateside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're making their way over. It's like, man, embrace them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I tell them that
It's our
because
people.
sometimes it takes a lot for them to kind of say, "Am I going to make it in the States?"
Yeah.
And
Right.
to take that chance and go over there, like we had them on the podcast as well, talking to Peanut Butter, you know, having the family and having her brothers. And seeing that
100%,
transition,
100%.
going back and forth from Australia and New Zealand, and
Yeah.
seeing the response, what they get from the crowds. And when I see them in the States, I'm like, man, they did that. They came from over there,
Yeah.
and came over. It's
Right.
crazy to see our young artists kind of get the love that they should be getting because you know we come in a demographic because they can easily be haters and
Yeah.
they can easily support you without supporting you.
That's
If you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Me and Andy always talked about like the Pacific
Pacific
Triangle.
Triangle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Tell him,
If
Brother D.
schools,
Tribal council,
up on
baby.
it. Our Pacific Triangle
Yeah.
goes from Aotearoa all the way through the islands up to Hawaii,
Yeah.
the west coast of America, which now spills over to everywhere else.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you hit Australia.
Yes.
And then you come back to Aotearoa. That's our Pacific Triangle.
us.
If you're going to make music, do it for that triangle first.
And then, like you said, don't forget to go back to the island. You got to go back to Samoa.
Yes.
You got to go American and Western.
Yes.
It's crazy because me and Comic Kings are going down American Samoa in December.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know,
Yeah.
I've been my first time ever going to Samoa was with Feej. And I went with Feej, and you know, you go to these places. You would never think as a kid of being Cali that we would
Yeah.
ever be in these places. We was in Fiji with
Right.
Feej.
Yeah.
That's like being in Vegas
bro,
with Elvis. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I got you. But this is where we are now.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and that's why I always try to tell people, whatever the street politics it is,
Yeah.
leave it aside for now. There's futures to be made in
Yeah.
music. You know, we need managers.
Yeah.
We need tour promoters.
Yes.
We need,
Yes.
we need publishing.
Absolutely.
Companies. Learn the game. Learn
Yeah.
the science of it.
The game is the big thing. Like, has the game changed so much from when you first started,
No,
Brother D?
hell no. Hell no. We peep game, know,
Yes.
you can go back to the 70s, Berry Gordy, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
You go back there, it's still the same.
Yeah.
A hit is a hit.
Hit.
Come on.
That's all there is.
Motown will tell you that.
That's right. And that's all you guys got to do. Just make hit songs
Yeah.
and off you will go.
Do it from the
Off
soul.
you will
Yeah.
go. And get yourself people who understand the game
Yes.
too.
Right.
Don't just
That's the main thing.
This is my cousin.
I was about to say, don't get your uncle.
This is my cousin Pule. Pule looks. Come on.
Just because Pule went to a concert don't mean he's a concert promoter.
Hey, just because Pule was the makeup artist for some sort of program, they don't know about touring.
Stay in your lane,
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there's people there. Get advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with asking for advice.
Yeah.
This is our people.
Yeah.
The goal of our people should be to uplift our people.
Absolutely.
That's it.
If we don't, you're in the wrong game.
And do your homework, like you said, brother. I mean, a lot of these artists now. I mean, I say they have it easier because of social media.
Yeah.
But if you do your homework and kind of know your history of like, you know, what the Booyah tribe went through, what Don Ray did in New Zealand, like there's so much involved in the World Wide Web nowadays where you can actually sit there and teach yourself a lot about your passion.
And we man, learn about Australia too.
Yeah.
You know, we got kids over there making extraordinary music. You know what I mean? Shout out 1-4, shout out HP Boys. HP Boys were here.
Come on, man. Lisi.
Lisi, Humble Boys. These are our kids.
And it's crazy
You know
to kind of
what I
see, and the word you just said there, humble. I think a lot of our artists that you see coming from our Polynesian demographic are some of the most humblest artists out there because we're a demographic that'll also humble your ass real quick too.
You feel? You right?
And say, okay, I know you're on your high horse, but bring your ass back down,
down
and
off
we'll
your polo,
tell you.
man.
And seeing these kids, HP Boys, kind of like just having the buzz that they have,
Right?
And kind of seeing firsthand how their stage presence is and how they're going crazy, and
Right.
you know, to have and Lisi as well. Like you see, it's worldwide appeal.
Yeah.
And when I say worldwide appeal, they could easily come to the States and fill a festival.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Easily come to the States and do a show, and it's good that they're finally starting to do that and not being as scared to kind of take that next step.
And don't be afraid of business.
Yes.
You see
Right,
this?
man.
You see this?
Come on.
685 merch.
Shout out
You know,
Poetik.
Poetic.
Go out and create your merch. So when you go do shows, merch always goes. That's not changed.
Yeah.
From the 60s to the 70s.
Right.
You know, they've been touring with merch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Don't, you know, wise up on the business side. You know,
And I think that's huge. Like, I mean, for people that are watching this podcast and they are looking for those gems and kind of saying, what can I learn from this? The business part is big, right, Brother D?
Yes, sir.
Like, what advice do you
Yeah.
have for somebody that say, okay, I do want to start, you know, getting my merch and I want to get my music heard.
Yeah.
You coming from the old school and transitioning and adapting to the new school. What advice do you have for that artist watching right now saying, you know, I even seen a kid rapping and it was for Brother D's ear, showing him music. I was like, Brother D, never mind, let me let him go ahead and let rap. So you have that all the time still, I see. But what advice you have for those kids watching right now?
Man, you know, like understand your product.
Yeah.
Understand, you know, who your competitors are. It's real simple, really. And then you got to understand how much you want to put your market on.
Yeah.
And go out and get it. That's all there is to
Come
it.
on.
But you got to understand business.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
there's enough for everybody. I think that's one thing they have to learn.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody and
Don't
everybody
hate
can
on
eat.
your brother. He's doing it as well.
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right.
because everybody's got to eat. He's got to feed his family too.
And there's no reason to be in competition with each other when you just got to be in competition with yourself.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And I think at the end of the day, if you're better than yourself than you was last year,
Yeah.
you're already ahead of the game.
That's
So
it.
why hate on the next dude? And like I said, we can see and be preaching to the choir, but it's something that these kids, you know, oh, that's not cool. These old dudes are just talking where, look, you kind of see where everything's kind of came full circle where success is a path that I think these kids have so many tools.
Yes.
Podcasting, World Wide Web, music, and these producers, you know, and all, producers are going crazy right now.
Right.
Like just to kind of see the beats that they're making and our Polynesian producers.
Yes.
Right.
Like it's crazy Mo Music doing Cinderella for J. King. Like I talked to Mo Music, I said, bro, I didn't even know that was you on the beat. And now that's one of the hugest songs, you know, in Aotearoa and all around the world.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just having like, man, a producer that was, you know, of Polynesian descent produced
Right.
that. So like it just goes around because that's why I wanted to sit down
And
with you brothers to do that.
we still need our connectors, like yourself, Big Body. You know, you need to connect everybody into like what you're doing over there in Vegas, what the brothers are doing in you know, San Jose, what the brothers are doing in CARSON, what the brothers are doing in Hawaii. You know, all the Usos in Samoa, all the Tokos in Tonga. You know, we got to key up on that.
Yeah, there's no need to compete with each other.
No, Australia. You know, our triangle is huge.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get with it. Understand it.
Yeah.
You know, ask somebody, you know, and ask somebody who's in that place.
Yeah.
If you're in America and you want to tour Australia, ask somebody in Australia.
Yeah, because they got the connections.
Hell yeah.
They got the connections.
And so that's all I got. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's how we can move easily around.
Yeah.
You know, try not to go into the mainstream one. You know, the big promoters, they already got big artists that promote.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, stick to your local promoter.
Yeah.
Do you know
and
what
blow
I
them
mean?
up because everyone's gonna compete. When you do compete in a way of making everybody better.
Yeah.
Because if you want to see this festival, okay, take from this festival, make that festival better. It has to keep going up, and we're not going tearing each other down. Say, oh, well, I want to do it because I want to be better than them.
Yeah.
I want to be no, just do it because you want your branding to be better as an all-round brand.
It's just a short story. I have a Uso, you know, he turns 50 this weekend. Shout out to my Uso, Davey Fapito. He had a little He had a little touring company, Irie Nation.
Yeah.
He's been touring young artists back in the day, from Swiss to Sammy, before anybody knew them.
Yeah.
Now he's graduated and he's got his own festival happening, Summer Frequency out in
Man.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Brisbane,
He
come on.
just grows it from there.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been in this for as long as he comes, he sits, we have something to eat and we talk and
Yeah.
you know, he games up, you know, and then off he goes again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And all you artists, you know, who are big, give our promoters a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give our because this is our people.
And give the
Yeah.
artist a chance.
Yeah,
You know,
give-
have
yeah.
some of these local talent open up for you. You know what I
Man,
mean?
this
That's-
guy only puts up local
Yeah.
artists in there. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to all the promoters, all the labels,
Yeah.
you know, all the artists who are doing it. Anything Pacific that's out there, man, go and support it.
Yeah.
This is who we are.
Absolutely.
This is who we are. Yeah, Western Conference in
Western
Auckland, in South
Conference.
Auckland.
Come
New
on, man.
Zealand.
As I said, we're on location
Man.
in South Auckland.
Man.
I trip off it. The other day, I was like, dude, we're going to go Brother D, but we're going to do the podcast in South Auckland in New
Yeah.
Zealand. Like Western Conference, we live on location right now.
Right.
But we just come in where comes full circle to a moment where it takes us back to the Booyah Tribe. I want to end with Booyah
Yeah.
Tribe. Them having such, you know, their influence out here in Aotearoa and what they've done. Because seeing I ain't gonna lie, it was chicken skin when they did the tribute. Just seeing the videos that just come on the screen. Then you have Gotti, you have Cobra
Yeah.
talking about it, and just rest in peace of the Uso Godfather,
Yes.
Gangsta Red,
Gangsta
Monstah
Red,
O.
Monstah.
But tell us, you got to tell us, Brother D, how their impact in Australia, already worldwide.
Yes.
But to kind of be so accepted. I said their name, like when I'm on stage and you say certain artist's name, you see what the response is.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong when you say Booyah Tribe.
Yeah.
because
Right.
Everybody can stop what they're doing and start celebrating it there. Tell us how their impact in Aotearoa was something that went worldwide for you guys, for us to pay homage for them like that.
Booyah Tribe is literally our family here.
Yeah.
You know, we back in the 80s when we first saw them, they became the one for us.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them, and most of us were working on the doors at that time.
Yeah.
So we made sure all the DJs, hey, you got a Booyah Tribe CD, you got a Booyah Tribe.
Yeah.
You play it once or twice every night.
You guys was working
know?
when you was working.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because we're so proud.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to hear our music in the clubs that we're
Yeah.
protecting. You know what I mean? And so it came full circle when Monstah and Red and, you know, started turning up on our shores.
Yeah.
We weren't big enough as promoters to bring them. But when we saw them, we went right alongside who were bringing them along.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we can help host as well. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Until the day came that we were able to bring them ourselves. And, you know, they became part. We took them down. You know, shout out to Paito and some of
Yeah, man.
our family down in the kingdom there, Waikato. We took them all around the country.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, Red, this is you.
Yeah.
This is the impact that you had. You know, in a little place in Hawke's Bay where we did a show out, you know, on like a paddock.
Yeah.
I said, and they all came. I said, from CARSON, California,
Yeah.
all the way to this little itty bitty paddock
Come on.
in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
Your influence came and hit everybody here.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, worldwide. And there's the impact that our Usos had right at the start.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this is my challenge as well. To all our young ones, you know, the Richard Day Sefos, the Poetiks,
Yeah.
the young goes, the
D-boys.
D-boys.
Yeah.
I said, this is your opportunity to take it further now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, get together. I mean it. Get together.
Yeah.
Create that lineup I just said is another lineup
Man,
for a
come on,
festival.
man.
Am I
Come on.
right? Western Conference.
Come on, man.
You know,
Giving you
there you go.
ideas.
I can
Yes.
give you names and you can jot it down and you build your festival. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I'm telling you, there's enough of you guys doing
Yeah.
it. And that's my challenge. You know, you got people like Big Buddy. There's festivals happening all over in America, in Australia, and New Zealand. We can get that going.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And so it's my challenge to you. Put the politics aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the street politics aside. You know.
Get money.
You know.
Come on, get money.
Get money. Feed
Everyone
your-
should be representing
feed your
green at the end of
family.
the day, yeah.
Feed your family, because that's what Dawn Red was all about.
Yeah.
We were all about why we loved hip music is because we knew the check that comes with it.
Yep, and you can feed your
Yeah,
family
and we
with
can
it.
feed our families
That's
with
it,
it.
man.
And to this day, some of our artists are still eating off those same
Yeah.
checks.
Come on,
Do you know
man.
what I mean? 20 years later,
Yeah.
they still eating off those songs.
Come on.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Understand the business you're in. You know, because once you understand that, then you understand about passive income, the income that just ticks over while you're sleeping.
Brother D.
While you're
on.
sleeping,
Passive
there's
income.
money
Make that money
made
while you're sleeping.
Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be their other money. Do you
Yeah.
feel me? Hey,
Hey,
you know,
telling
that's
you.
what I'm just saying.
Get that 9 to 5, support that 5 to 9.
Nah, you feel me?
I'm just saying, there's passive income
Yeah.
in that.
Yep.
Understand? Go and learn about it. It's called
Yeah.
publishing. Go learn about that.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
man.
Before we get up out of here, I don't want to let the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
But I will say this. We do have legendary photographer, videographer,
Oh, damn.
Estevan Oriol in Aotearoa right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You guys been going around. We are definitely doing the due diligence for the
Yeah.
Booyah Tribe documentary. Like I said, I don't want to give it all away, but Monstah, I'm going to go to you first. Give them a little sample of what they can expect for this Estevan Oriol project that they're doing with Booyah Tribe.
Basically, the history.
Yeah.
You know, from where the origins of the Booyah tribe started, and then the impact and how it affected every culture, especially the Polynesian culture. But when they see it and they see the New Zealand, the impact that it had on New Zealand, like it's crazy. And I can't. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's it. Brother D, give them a little sample of what they can expect, because I know you had a big part of this as well.
Yeah, it's it really is to show the impact the brothers had. You know, growing up in CARSON, and how their music just broke through countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't it's not just neighborhoods, countries.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Australia, New Zealand, all over the world, Europe. You know, we even had Palangis loving Booyah Tribe.
Japan.
Big
In
time.
Japan, huge. Yeah.
Big.
And so that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's about global impact,
Come on.
you know? And, you know, I hope that you guys see it and learn from it and know that you all can have that global impact.
Come on.
They
got it in them.
Yeah, everybody got
Yeah.
it in them. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Just learn about yourself, put all your politics aside and go for it.
Yeah.
Shout
And
out.
it's about the journey.
Yes.
It's about the journey.
Yeah.
You know
Yes,
what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
just about the destination.
Or the money.
And
Well,
speaking
the
of the
money,
journey, before we get about it, I got to give you, Monstah Ganjah, your flowers, because, you know, you a platinum selling artist.
Hell yeah.
So
Love
I
you, my
definitely want to
brother.
give you your
I
flowers,
love
Brother
you.
D.
I love
you.
You are
Relative.
definitely a staple in this whole game that we got going on. And the shout out to Brother Andy, Don Raid, the family. It was good to finally come to South Auckland,
Yes.
out here in New Zealand, Aotearoa, to kind of tell y'all story. Because I'm
Man.
telling y'all, there's so much more. This is just an hour.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we could sit here for 6-7 hours.
Yes.
Go watch the documentary.
Hello.
That's one.
Hello.
Go get the Don Radar documentary.
Yeah.
Go buy, because now you can still get Monstah Ganjah's music, and still now we getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
What I'm talking about? So with that said,
PI.
today's was brought to you by Dos Caras Tequila.
Jalisco.
Dos Caras out here in New Zealand. But I'm telling y'all, man, this, look, it's all about branding. But with that said, it's your boy Big Body Cisco for the legendary Brother D,
Yes,
Andy,
sir.
Don Ray, and my brother Monstah Ganjah. That's the Western Conference Podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah.